My potato samosas are looking divine. They're absolutely beautiful. Small little triangle pockets of potato, Punjabi style, crunchy, bubbly. Soft in the inside. I'm getting a hit of that spice. Excellent, divine. Hi everybody and welcome back to Jaffa Cooks, and today I'm going to show you how to make a classic Punjabi potato samosa. Okay, so very quickly, I've got some cooked potatoes here. I've boiled these and they're just about to the point where they can just break off very easily. So what we're going to do now is just basically, once the potatoes are cooled down, I'm going to then cook off some of the, cook the onions off, saute them off. After sauteing the onions, I'm going to then introduce the chilies, garlic and ginger, and then I'll cook those off for a couple of minutes. Then I'll introduce the rest of the spices, and then finally, once everything's perfectly cooked and I can smell the aroma of all the spices, I'll introduce the pomegranate seeds. And I'll show you how to, and which stages, what needs to be introduced. Just before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click on the bell icon, get the latest updates, and share with your family and friends. Try my recipes, give them a go, tell me how they turned out to be. I'd love to hear from you. DM me if there's any special requests or if you get into any trouble. All right, let's get cooking. Right, welcome back. So I've got my pan on the hob. I'm just going to introduce a teaspoon and a half of olive oil. And we have to be careful at this stage. We don't want to burn the onions. So I'm just making sure that my temperature is around about lowish and a little bit more. So I'm going to call it lowish and a little bit more. So it's, what I mean to say is it's low, but not too low that it doesn't cook off the onions at all. So if you find that your pan is a little bit too hot, just take the pan off the hob immediately. So let's introduce our onions first. And what we want to do is just saute the onions enough so that they become clear. Now, if you've ever gone to India or Pakistan or some of these Asian countries where they actually authentically make some of these Punjabi samosas, or these samosas I'm going to say, Punjabi samosa doesn't actually come with vegetables, it's just potato and spices. So although when you go to the stores or when you go to a restaurant and you do order a samosa, a lot of the time you'll find that it's actually filled with vegetables, but authentically it's only supposed to have potatoes. And it may sound a bit odd because all our lives we've been basically eating vegetable samosas, but the taste of just potato really is divine, so long as your pastry is good. At the same time, whilst we're cooking this off, I'll show you how to make the samosa pastry as well from scratch. And it really does come down to how well you've cooked or prepared your pastry as well, because the combination of potato and pastry really, once you take that bite, you get the crunchy and the smooth, and then you can taste the spices as well at the same time. So I'm going to introduce my ginger and garlic and my chilies. And don't forget that whilst we're cooking this off, they'll carry on, the onions will carry on cooking as well. So I'm going to turn down the temperature. And for the garlic and ginger, we only want to basically cook it off for maybe a minute or so. Enough so that you can start smelling the aroma of the ginger and garlic. Right, in go the rest of the spices. Just so we don't forget, do not put the pomegranate seeds in at this moment. We'll wait for them right till the end, just before we finish the mixture off. So don't forget here, we don't want to keep introducing more and more oil. The mixture, or shall I say this, at this point in time, the spices should be slightly on the dry side. And now I can actually smell the cumin and coriander, which is nearly about done. Finally, I'm just going to pour in the pomegranate seeds, and this is what really gives the samosas the, shall we say, the taste. And I'm just going to take it off the heat now. I don't want the pomegranate seeds to burn, so turn the heat off, and then we're done. So I'm just going to take this off the heat. I'm just going to take it off the hob, sorry, and then I'm going to let this cool down, and I'll see you back at serving area. I'll show you how to make the mixture now. Right, so my spices are cooled down, and what we want to do now is make our samosa filling. So we don't want to make mashed potatoes, that's very important. What we do want is bits of potato that are, some are going to be soft, some are going to be in chunks like this, some are going to be smaller chunks, so there's going to be a variation. And the reason why is that some of it will hold together, but when you take that bite, you'll have a soft part, you'll have a bit of potato, and it gives you that texture with the spices as well. So I'm just going to break it down, and I'll show you how far and how much you need to break it down. And you don't even need to actually press them down too much. I'm just going to literally slice them with my fork, and they're actually, that's it, we're done. This now gives you, I've got big bits, I've got small bits, I've got really small bits, I've got some mushy bits. So it's basically giving you the texture, and if there are any large ones, which I see now, I'm just going to, and it's basically the texture of the potato and the spices put together that gives you that perfect experience, I'd say. Yeah, perfect experience. Okay, so let me just quickly wash my hands and I'll get back to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to taste my spices and see how strong. Actually, forget that. Let's go with that. Really nice. So what I want to do basically is just ensure I don't waste any, because this is basically the secret that's going to put the punch, the taste, the aroma, the everything in that Punjabi samosa. And I'm just going to mix this in. Now, when I'm mixing in, you need to make sure that it's mixed in thoroughly. Don't break the potatoes up. Leave the chunks there still, but make sure it's mixed in thoroughly. You want every bite to be an experience. You don't want a bite to be, that was mediocre. Oh my God, I got a whole load of spice there all of a sudden. So you need that mixed in thoroughly. And it's just with a fork, just mix it in, just making sure that there's no chunks of spice as well. So that's my mixture Punjabi potato mixture is done. Next, I'll show you how to make the potato sheets, and I'll see you in a short while. Hi everybody, and welcome back. My sheets are ready, and I'm going to fill my samosa with my potato filling. So very simple. I've just taken one of my half sheets of my pastry sheet for my samosa, and I'll show you how to do all this. Now, very simply, we're going to now just take some water and just line or moisten the edge of half the sheet. So just going to take a little bit of water, just half, not too much, just slightly water. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take not this edge, but the non-watered edge or the non-moistured edge and fold it halfway, okay? And the part that I've put moisture on or put water on, I'm going to now take it and fold it over the other edge. So that gives me my base triangle. Now, the piece at the bottom, I want you to take it and just pinch it slightly so it seals. And then just make sure that your side is sealed properly. Now, the reason why we do this is we're going to now open up our samosa pocket, and I'm going to move the edge, or shall I say the seam, from the edge to the middle, just like this. And the reason why we do this is because if we leave the edge the seam on the edge, when we fry it, there's most probably the edge will open up and the samosa will split and the mixture will go everywhere. So we try and keep it in the middle. So keeping your samosa pocket open I'm going to pinch my base. And what we don't want to do, we don't want to pack it with too much filling. We just want the base to be empty slightly, and then we'll put some filling in the middle, and then we'll seal the edge and allow that the edge to be crusty. So I'm just going to take a spoon of filling, just pop it in there, keeping my finger pinched the edge. I'm just going to take a little bit of water, and I'm just going to seal the other edge by pressing them together. That's it. And you need to press this, I wouldn't say too much, but you need to press to make sure it's sealed, to make sure that there's a little bit of base without any filling. Okay, and that's basically how you make your samosa. And I'm going to now make the rest of them, and I'll come back and see you in a short while when I'm ready to fry. Okay. Now, when we're frying these off, be very careful and gentle when you pop them into the oil. Oil will be hot, and we need to face them down. So the seam should be going in face down. And I'm just going to actually do it that way, it'll be easier. And round about 2.5 minutes each side. And they'll start browning off soon. After about 2.5 minutes, we'll then turn them over. Now this batch is looking really, really good, because you can see the bubbles forming. That's what's going to give it the crispy edge. And now we only want about 2.5 minutes, so we want them only to be golden brown, not dark brown. So I'm just going to have a look at one. I think that's a good time to pop them over. Turn them over, let's just quick check. Now if you look carefully, this tells you that this batch is going to be a very crispy batch because of the bubbles. I'm just going to start taking 1 or 2 of them out. Look at that beautiful crispy, and just from here, without even taking a bite of it, I can tell that it's going to be a really crispy samosa. If you need to turn yours over just to brown off the other side, by all means, go ahead. So I'm going to remove these, and I'll see you back at the serving area. Hi everybody, welcome back, and my potato samosas are looking divine. They're absolutely beautiful. Small little triangle pockets of potato, Punjabi style, crunchy, bubbly. Soft in the inside. I'm getting a hit of that spice. Excellent, divine. Try yours out. Let me know how it went. DM me and follow me and share. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.